What's going on, guys? It's Logan, and I'm here with my amazing co-host.
Brayden Noble.
Yes, sir. Welcome to episode 8 of Actors
Actors
POV.
POV.
Yes, sir. We're here, baby. I'm excited for this one. Brayden, how you feeling, bro? You looking good, my boy? How you feeling?
You're a good guy. You're a
Yeah.
good guy. I'm feeling good. You know what I mean? If people couldn't tell, I've been upgrading the setup quite a bit, trying to make these episodes a little bit more presentable, a little bit
Yes,
more high fashion
just
for
a
you
little bit.
guys. But I'm doing good. How are you, man? How was your day?
Chilling, dude. Literally, it's like 50 degrees in Florida right now, and it's springtime.
Wild.
So
Yes, it's
why are we
58
doing
right
this?
now.
Yeah,
58
why?
cloudy.
You know what I mean?
Cloudy at 10 at night.
So yeah, it's definitely sucks the weather, but it's nice to have a little cold sometimes, But hopefully it just disappears tomorrow and we can finally get back to our 90-degree weather.
Totally.
But yeah, dude, I'm doing good, bro. I'm just kind of chilling, still getting over the burger I had a few days ago. We've been talking about that, dude. Yo, we went to this place after we watched Shazam 2, which by the way is going to be their movie review for this episode. And we went to like this little like tavern place, bro. This little bar, sports bar. And the waitress told me, she's like, hey, I was like, yo, I want this burger. And the waitress said, it's going to mess with your stomach a little bit. I was like, yo, listen, I eat Taco Bell, Tijuana Flats. Your boy's okay, all right?
Your boy is ready to go. Don't even play with me.
That's what I thought. And for the past 2 days, I've had no appetite. It's not food poisoning, but it messed me up. It messed me up bad. So,
Sad
yeah.
to hear. I'm sorry, brother.
Yeah, no, it's okay, bro. We're chilling, but yeah, that thing
Open
sucked.
your. Open your.
There it is, bro. Our weekly opening your. Love that, dude. I found the actual dude on TikTok too. Him and his daughter.
Oh my god, we might have to reach out.
Yeah, bro. Do a collab. Bring him
Do a
on the
little
pod.
collab.
Bring him on the pod. Let's do it,
So
man.
when did you
Oh,
decide
man.
open your was the gimmick? We decided
What
early
sold
on.
you? Yeah. Oh, dude, love it, man. Decided early on. But yeah, we're here, man. I am here, and
We're here.
and we're about to dive into some Shazam and one acting news thing this week
Shazam
because there's
Gods of
no acting
Fury.
news, and then method acting. So we're gonna talk about some method acting here in a little bit. So that's gonna be pretty exciting. But
You gotta love it.
yeah, me and Brayden, man, hopped on, and I don't know why I said hopped on, but we met up on Friday, and we saw Shazam 2 with a little group, man. And I saw Shazam 1. Brayden, you still haven't seen the first one, have you?
No.
But I saw, it's not a movie you really need to see the first one for. I saw the first Shazam movie and I was like, all right, I like it. It's pretty good. Jack Dylan Grazer, I believe his name is, was in it, did a really good job. Zachary Levi, the whole crew. It's a really fun cast. The guy from The Walking Dead is the dad, the foster home dad, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
So there's some people in here that you'll see in a big time cameo, which we'll get to. And the second Shazam, which is crazy. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
But no, I like the first one a lot, and I was really excited for this movie. The first one kind of bombed in the box office. I mean, it didn't bomb. It made like 300 mil. But it only, I think, had like $100 million budget, and a DC movie is expected to make a little bit more than 300 million. And we're gonna get to the box office for Shazam 2, and it's rough. It is bad, Brayden. I didn't tell you yet, bro. It's bad, like really, really bad.
Dang. You know what's crazy? My friends, they like the first one so much. I've seen clips and stuff, and from what I always saw from the first one was good. And my one friend Evan, he was like, it was a good movie, right? And I was like, oh, dude, the first one was so good.
No, yeah.
I hate to break it to you, man.
Yeah, to everybody listening,
I think the world's agreeing when you hear the box office numbers,
No, Brayden, wait until you hear it, dude. It's bad. And now I don't want to say rightfully so, just because we know how hard it is to make a film and to make something like this, but there's a lot of crazy things going on in this film from the beginning to the end. But yeah, dude, I guess we can just probably get into this. By the way, as always, this is a spoiler review, so if you haven't seen this yet, why are you listening? Go watch Shazam 2 and then get back to this. Yeah, just skip forward, and when we talk about method acting, skip like an hour in.
Gosh, dude.
Come on, man. You guys know this, bro.
What the frick, bro?
No, come on, man. So yeah, Shazam. Brayden, I did it last week or 2 weeks ago. Let's hear your little summary, man.
So
Oh wait, before you do it, you know what we stopped doing that we need to get back to? The little synopsis.
dude, I'm
Remember?
not even gonna lie, I had it pulled up. I
Oh,
had it pulled up.
oh, I remember, boy.
Oh,
Okay, I see you. I see
after a
you. Let's get
moment, my
it.
brain stopped and I
Yeah.
was like, it was slow. I was like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Hey, bro, go for it, my boy. Go for
Moving
it.
on. All right, this is actually a pretty long one. Sad that it, you know, bestowed with the power of the gods. Billy Batson and his fellow foster kids are still learning how to juggle teenage life with their adult superhero alter egos. When a vengeful trio of ancient gods arrive on Earth in search of the magic stolen from them long ago, Shazam and his allies get thrust into a battle for their superpowers, their lives, and the fate of the world.
Oh, yes, sir. Yo, once again, it sounds like this is like a 9 out of 10 film.
They had a budget of 125 mil.
Yep. Yep. And,
Boom.
well, I don't, dude, actually, I don't even know if they're going to make that back. I'm being dead serious. Wait until you hear the numbers. Like, it's that bad. It is that bad.
Oh
It's
no.
rough. Um,
Warner Brothers opening your.
So, yeah, Brady, let's hear your little summary, man. How you feel about this movie, dude? Just kind of break it down a little bit.
All right. So I went in there with really high expectations, and what I can say Shazam delivered was an awesome cast full of pretty likable characters, the adults and the younger kids. I think I like the younger cast better, but I do like um some of the standout adults a lot. I think the action and the fight scene and anything combat related or editing and any superhero movie is going to be like that, but it was actually really awesome, and I felt like the fight scenes were super smooth, and everything was just it flowed really well in those scenes. And the amazing this is a spoiler, the surprise of Gal Gadot, that was pretty
Uh,
dope.
yeah,
Wonder
it's
Woman,
my
oh my
girl.
god.
Oh my
But
god.
spoilers, thinking that we were gonna maybe lose Barry at the end, but she showed up and kind of went and just saved the day. You know what I mean? That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
Dope final fight scene, and I'm straying away from the main fact because it is one of my negative side. The plot and the script itself. I mean, I don't think the plot it was terrible, but the script itself, everything kind of felt a little cliche, a little cheesy. I think it could have been slightly better, but I don't think it was horrendous.
Yeah.
But overall, it's a good watch with the family. I think it's something.
Yeah.
I hate to be that guy, but throw it on at a
You're not
family.
that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that
I'm
guy.
not that guy, but I'm gonna throw it on at the family event and not watch it. Throw it on the family event, and then so
Keep
the
the kids
you know
occupied.
yeah,
Yeah.
while everyone's talking.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
But Logan,
Uh,
what about you, sir?
I literally exact same thing you said. I think you enjoyed this movie a little bit more than me. This is definitely a popcorn movie. I love the
Totally.
first Shazam. The first Shazam had a lot of the same problems that this movie had, but this movie just took those problems and made them the forefront of the movie, which wasn't smart.
Mhm.
And Shazam 1 had a lot of good things going for it, man. It was a fresh idea, really good origin story, not as predictable, and this movie was really predictable. Writing was not the best. The characters didn't really grow in any way. Overall, just it wasn't really great. And yeah, I don't want to dive too much into it just because once again we're gonna get to the pros and cons and all that fun
Mhm.
stuff. But overall, I laughed. We laughed in the film.
We laughed. We laughed.
We laughed. We
We
clapped.
laughed.
We cheered.
Hooray.
There's good moments, but there's definitely a lot wrong with this film. And I'm not the biggest on it, and to be honest, I don't ever really see myself watching it again. Sadly.
If you saw some real life, looks are a little deceiving because this is you got good cop here and you got bad cop over there.
Yeah.
He'll fuck you up.
We're ruthless, baby.
Ruthless, baby.
Get out of here, man. We're ruthless era.
All right, you wanna start us off, sir?
With the cons, I have
Yeah.
more cons with this movie than pros.
Well, let's go. I hate to be that guy. We're gonna be that guy. Let's go pros
Let's go
first.
pros first, baby. No, this is definitely the smartest thing here. I have three main pros here.
Yeah.
With this film. and you can kind of expand on this, Brayden. The first thing was the funny moments. The comedy worked in this movie sometimes, and really, those two main times was the little pin that they had that would write by itself, whatever that was. That was hilarious, dude, and it would pick up the conversation when it was sent to people. That was really cool,
funny.
and a lot of funny moments came out of that because they were trying to be serious, but it just came off funny. Kids being superheroes, you know how it is. And then Jack Dylan Grazer did a really good job in this movie.
Had him at the forefront.
He did a really, really good job. And he kind of had that this little relationship with one of the three main queens, which was pretty cool. And
I was rooting for him.
And that's actually a little bit into my cons, the way that they kind of handled that with the three queens and that girl. We'll get into that later. But overall, though, the funny moments were there, and the comedy worked throughout the film, very similar to the way it worked in the first movie. But they just try to really expand on the comedy a little bit more, and I think that's where they kind of failed. The comedy was almost pushed a little too much, if that makes sense.
No, I totally get that, man. I totally get that.
Yeah,
it was pretty funny, but like I said, at times I was cringing more than I was laughing. You know what I mean? And what I'll give the film is, in a comedic way, it was very meta. It was very meta with the things it was saying, with the things it was doing, and I very much enjoyed that. But like I said, as it is meta, there were certain things I just stared at the screen. I was like, "What?
Are we watching a DC?
Are we?
movie?
What are we watching? Yeah, I'm like, what is going on right now, dude?"
Yeah, dude. I think you enjoyed the sequence a little bit more than me. This is once again in the cons, but we're just gonna talk about it right now because we're on the subject. The unicorn thing, dude. The way that was handled, I know you liked it, but I was just sitting there and I was like, bro, this is a DC movie. It's like this is the best. I think the best comparison.
Is interesting.
It's like if Pixar made a live action superhero movie. Like that's where it was going a little bit toward the end, and with the unicorns and stuff and and there was a funny one-liner when the girl's riding on the back of the unicorn, was it taste the Rambo, whatever. That was really funny. Yeah, it was funny. It was good stuff, but the whole thing surrounding that, this movie, they try to be funny at a lot of times, and you're just kind of left there just scratching your head like, why?
It's really like the actors themselves who pulled out the humor, like the writing.
Yeah.
I don't think I think honestly you gave them a little bit of better of a script. I think it had been actually really funny. I think all of them handled what they had with the copy really well. I just don't think some of the jokes they're like it's like a one-liner, you know what I mean? They just hit, and they either going to hit for a margin of people or they're not going to hit, you know what I mean? And you can't have a double-edged sword like that the entire movie, you know what I mean?
Well, and they relied on the comedy. That's probably the best way to put it.
Exactly.
Right. So there's scenes that literally are meant for the comedy, and when those jokes don't hit and that comedy isn't, appealing to everybody,
we're all just sitting there like,
that scene is worthless. That's you can crumble up the page and just throw it out. And comedy and funny stuff is very subjective, right? It's who you are, what your comedy is. For me though, when I watch a superhero movie, it can be funny obviously, and that's where every superhero movie is going now, even though I'm not big on that. But there needs to be some seriousness in there that brings you
absolutely
down. And that just wasn't there for me. So that's
literally
this kind of turned into a con, but
yeah, and not to interject, but I would only say maybe the only serious point in the movie was the final 10 minutes.
Yep.
Which is cool, but I agree with you. Shazam is a comedic character, but I feel like you could do so much more with him, especially with the love for Zachary Levi and the love for what he's done with Shazam. You could make this an entire series. I feel like this could go on as long as something like Thor or the Captain America series.
There's thousands of comic books to go after.
Exactly. And it's just when you don't really put the stakes on the line for us, you never get attached. You don't worry. So
yeah, no, I'm with you there, man. I mean, I want to expand on that a lot, but that kind of goes into the other stuff I want to talk about in a little bit. But something that I actually really enjoyed about this movie was the suit. Brayden, I know you saw clips of the first one, but you didn't watch it. The suit in the first one looked super. It looked like Captain America's suit in the first Avengers movie. Remember how like weird it looked, cartoonish?
Mm-hmm.
Remember it like there's way better Captain America suits obviously before and after that.
Yep.
That's kind of what the first Shazam was. It was literally just red with a lightning bolt. This suit had a lot more cooler like designs inside of the lightning bolt and kind of around the suit overall that worked a lot better.
The effects, man.
Yeah, so really good job and that's not just Shazam's suit, the entire crew. The suits look really good, man, and I really like that. The CGI was pretty good as well. So we'll just kind of talk about the effects and everything. I thought it worked really well at some points.
I do too. Especially during the fight scenes. Like I didn't think anything looked too fake. Like and then what I really liked about everything was how perfectly placed they did things in those scenes. I'm sorry, I was super obsessed with the fight scenes. I know we're talking about how good it looks, but I loved how
that goes with it.
It was so meta. Like I was, you heard me. I was like, spear.
Oh boys, RKO.
But no, man, it was like watching a Marvel movie for real. Like, and I know that sounds stupid, but like I know DC doesn't. If you really think about a DC film, they don't really go for those outstanding effects, kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy or like Black Panther, like, you know what I mean? But in this movie, they kind of brought that here. And even like, you know what I mean, the unicorns and stuff, they looked real. I mean, they're not, and it's super obvious, but they looked real.
Yeah, they did a good job with it. I mean, we've seen worse, especially with Marvel recently.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? I mean, Doctor Strange.
Love it, but
yeah,
I would say the effects with this were better.
I would have to agree.
I loved
Multiverse
like
of Madness was
the thing with the bubble, like you know how the cars crashed at first, but then when they were shrinking it, like it didn't affect anyone. Like I think that's a super cool. It's so small, but you did it.
Yeah.
Whoever thought of that, you did that.
They did a really good job in it. No, there's some good stuff. Speaking of the little bubble man, Simpsons. I looked over at Brayden. I was like, bro, this is like some Simpsons stuff, dude. Like. The Simpsons movie, man. Oh my god! If you know what I'm talking about, you had childhood, and I love you. Simpsons was great, bro. Such a good movie.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't really watch Simpsons.
No,
really,
dude, Simpsons was my stuff,
a little bit,
bro.
A little bit.
Did you see the movie though? The one with the dome.
I'm not sure.
You never saw the dome, bro. So that's kind of what it was. They put like a dome over the city. That's where Spider Pig came from. Spider Pig. No.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, and then like
literally a blue dome, right?
Okay, yes.
I've seen clips.
Literally, these Simpsons, bro. And we'll get back to the Shazam in a minute, guys. But I was gonna say something too. One of the like we all remember the satisfying scenes that we had from like childhood movies and stuff. You know, when we were young, bro. One of the most satisfying scenes ever is when freaking Bart is up on this little like tree or whatever, and I can't remember the guy's name. The guy with the mustache, that's like across the street from the Simpsons. He was like looking outside of his window and he put like a
howdy neighbor,
like a hot chocolate. Yeah, that dude.
Like,
yeah,
neighbor.
bro. And they got like he made him like a hot chocolate, but this looked like literally the best hot chocolate in the world, bro.
In the world,
dude, bro.
Dude, give me some cocoa right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Waiting for those winter episodes with Logan Allen.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one, bro. Do some Christmas movies, bro. We're gonna have some fights on that. That's where it gets serious. You know what I mean? Once we get into Christmas movies, because I know we have some different opinions on that. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting stuff. But anyway, back to Shazam.
But anyway,
no, see, I agree. The visual effects and the fights were really good, dude. I enjoyed it. Good stuff there.
I will give it to the cast. The cast was pretty outstanding.
Yeah.
I liked it, and I felt like it was perfectly cast for each kid for the adult. Like it was believable. It looked like the character. They acted the same, and that was something that I thought was really cool. Like the adults had the same childlike tendencies. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't the kids were like the adults. The adults were like the kids.
So that actually goes into my cons in a second, and we'll get to that in a minute. But no, I agree. Like, especially with like the little girl, the youngest daughter.
Yes.
She obviously would still have that childhood kind of tendency, and dude, there's this one thing where she was just like totally oblivious to what was going on. I can't remember what the line was. Yeah, something in the cave, and she just didn't get the joke at all. And they put some little bit of humor in there, adult humor, and she just didn't get it. I thought that was really good. So there's some funny moments in there. Once again, that goes back to the comedy that did work for me, and I was laughing quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I'm with you on that, dude. And yeah, like since we're talking about characters and stuff, the villains were pretty good too. I wasn't terrified of them or scared or anything, but they did their part, and I think
They had a dominant
yeah,
presence.
there wasn't no cons to them. They did their part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No. Do you have
That
any?
might be it for my
Yeah, that's it for me too.
yeah, I was like, that might be it for my pros, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
man. Not
I've
much
kind of
there.
kissed everyone's butt as much
Yeah.
as I could.
Yeah, I get that. So now we get into the spicy stuff.
The spicy stuff, the
Uh,
burrito.
so since we're on the villains, bro, there's the two main female villains that they have, the sisters, and
Yeah.
then there's the third one that gets revealed
The
like 20
youngest
minutes into
sister.
it. Yeah, and what made me mad about that is number one, they didn't try to hide it, and
So
Brayden looked over to me. Yeah, so predictable. Brayden looked over to me literally in the first scene with her, and he says, "That's the other sister. She's the other sister." I was like, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was like, dude, you're 100% right. And it's so obvious too, looking back on it, and they didn't try to hide
Mhm.
it. And what got me is, dude, you could have made that an entire like not who done it, but like a big mystery throughout the entire
Oh
movie.
no, I kind of like the Who Done It factor.
Well,
I think
yeah,
you could be somewhere with that.
right, but they gave it away literally in her second
The
scene,
first, yeah,
which
dude.
just I didn't understand because here's my thing too. My biggest problem with this movie, and I don't have this problem with Marvel movies because Marvel's different than DC. DC is just serious. DC has always been more gory, more dark, more brutal, and the Batman is the probably the best example of what a DC movie should be. Dark,
Hmm.
nasty, menacing. You know what I mean?
Better for the
Ominous, like
Flash.
yeah. Hopefully, which that the Flash is a funny character, so hopefully they don't go too comedic with it, like what they did with Shazam.
Hmm.
But it needs to have dark elements into it, man. And I think that's what they might be doing with the Flash, because from what I've heard, people are saying it's there's some good things coming out of it. So we'll
I've heard it's
see.
top notch. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But so yeah, get ready for that episode. That's gonna be interesting.
Ooh.
Um, but yeah, so my point though is like that could have been a serious grounded thing that we could have been attached to, if that makes sense. So the movie, like I said earlier, really revolved around the comedy and really relied on it. So if a scene did bad, you had nothing else to really latch onto but the bad comedy. If you have this crazy mysterious subplot going on throughout this entire film of who this third sister is and whatever, you have something else to grab onto. This movie's not just set around the comedy; it's also set around this kind of dark, mysterious type of subplot going on with the sister. So
Yeah.
why not have that and make the movie more grounded? And this is we talked about this. What was the other movie I had the same problem with? There's another movie we did. It was one of the first ones. I don't think it was The Whale. I don't remember what it was, but I remember talking to you about it, and I was like, we need something that keeps the movie grounded. And that movie
Oh,
didn't have it. I can't remember what it was. And
might have
this
been
movie,
Cocaine Bear, because the only thing was the mom.
maybe, yeah,
Can't
I
really
think
think.
that's probably what it was. And I was like, she kind of kept it grounded a little bit. Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, I just thought of a new acting news that we can do. Look at
Okay.
that. Speaking of that,
Notable. Bang
um,
bang.
yes, sir. But no, so this movie needed that and it didn't have it. And the first movie had it. The first movie was set around, the main kid, Shazam, but as his younger self, trying to figure out who his parents were. That was the entire. There was that serious subplot. So when the scene where he actually does go and gets to meet his mom and get that backstory with his mom, it felt more serious. Like, this is a serious thing. This kid, like every other, foster kid wants to, not every other foster kid, but most of them wants to, see who their real parents are. You know what I mean? Whether they're adopted or whatever it is, they want to know who their real parents are. And you felt that emotion with
Yeah.
that character. In this movie, you didn't have that. And that's probably my biggest problem is they focus so much on the comedy aspect when I needed something serious to grab onto, like the first Shazam movie had.
Yeah, even to follow up on that, like one of my first cons is like, even though I feel like the villains themselves did a good performance, I feel like there was a lack of like power and a lack of presence from them. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
the three sisters were never really completely deceiving. Like, you know what I mean? They used their wits more than their actual skill to win most of their
Yeah.
battles. And I feel like I wanted to see a maniacal boss. Like, I'm not saying like Black Adam in there, but like I want to see Shazam versus Black Adam,
Yeah.
dude.
Give that to us,
Like, you know
please.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you use your Wonder Woman guest star to revive him from the dead, dude. Like, get her in there for a fight scene. Like, let's do something.
Yeah.
Why was it minotaurs and why was it unicorns? Why couldn't it have been like demons? And like they literally said you're starting to act more like Hades. They could have followed a path with that where she followed under Hades and had a more demonic destructive presence. And I
Yeah.
agree with what you were saying, it has too much of a comedic presence. And like even the unicorns, they went for a funny thing with that. Even though they make them demented, that's what makes it funny because it's not a normal
Yeah.
unicorn. I bet you it would have been less funny if it was just a freaking white and pink unicorn.
Yeah.
But because it's black and demon eyes, we're all like, wow, like of course.
Or feed on the demonization of it. You know what I mean? Make it
Yeah, like
scary.
yeah, make it even more scary because
Yeah,
like
man.
they made them the deceiving ones and like that they could like they were that the other beasts were afraid of them, but
Yeah.
like all they did was run. Like you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
let's see them explode when
Yeah.
they stab them or
What did
like
they do? Yeah, they
yeah,
didn't. They
they
barely
just
did anything.
stabbed them
Yeah.
and died.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Yeah.
What's stopping it from just clotheslining the freaking horse? You know what I mean? Uh, yeah,
No, I
but
get
I
it.
just felt like there was like even with the sisters, like there was never they were all three villains, but then the one wasn't a villain, and then the oldest sister eventually wasn't a villain, and then it finds out it's this girl. Like I don't know, there's just a lack of power there for me, and a
Yeah.
lack of evil,
And
I
and
would
s-
say.
and speaking of the sisters too, I kind of talked about this in the pros. I do give them props for trying to make a story out of that, to really try to
Hmm.
build the plot with them, and to give those characters some kind of meaning and emotion behind them. But like Brayden said, you're just so distracted by, everything else going on and all the comedy, you don't feel it. And that's something that
Yeah,
Shazam 1 did really well. Shazam 1's not my favorite, superhero movie, but it did the meta stuff, and it did the I guess scary, more brutal stuff a little bit
yeah,
better. And you actually felt like the main villain in Shazam 1 was dangerous. You know what I mean? This is a kid that just got superpowers. He's, 15 years old, and he's fighting this, 40-year-old dude with, other superpowers. So it's kind of crazy to think about. And this movie just felt, I don't know, it felt different. You didn't feel that emotion and that power, like Brayden said, behind it. So I'm with you on that, man. I agree.
like when you look at some of the fight scenes, like the main exchange between Jack DeGrazer's character and they were gonna try and like say we're gonna give up our powers. Like when they meet, they're at like a freaking Philly cheesesteak sandwich, and they got sandwiches and French fries in front of them. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then she's calling him out for being a child, and then when the children beat them up, they make children remarks. Like the whole thing is funny. Like it was never, and even in the end, they get away with her. Even if that's what they wanted, like that's not what I wanted. I don't want. Even if she wanted to be captured, they didn't do anything with it. They did
Yeah.
literally nothing. They literally got her home
I'm with you.
with the apple, bro.
Yeah.
And that I don't know. I just it's kind of what we've been saying. I just wish there was more of that presence and which they kind of I think they three did great, and I think their plot itself wasn't even necessarily the worst, but that presence and that prowess just wasn't there. It
Mhm.
was too funny in a way.
No, I get it. I'm
Too
with you, man. And
lighthearted.
yeah, there you go. That's probably the best way to put it. And like I said, if this was Marvel, it'd be different, but this is DC, bro.
Mhm.
Like I didn't read a lot of Marvel comics, but I've read a lot of DC comics. And
Mhm.
when I was younger, and I gotta say, this isn't DC. You know what I mean? And Shazam was always funny. I'm not saying people are gonna be like, oh well, he was funny. No, I get that, but this is just like a whole nother level of like, there's no deeper meaning to the story. Shazam 1, I thought did pretty well with that. I would have liked Shazam 1 to be a little
The
darker,
worst
but
thing
it,
that
but it still
happened in this
felt.
movie is the kids lost their powers for 5 minutes.
Mhm.
Like you were terrified when one of them lost their powers because they couldn't fight back. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's no even when Billy died, we're sitting there like we all looked at each other and we're like, there's no way they'd really do that.
No, I knew that he was
And
gonna
then
come
Wonder
back to
Woman comes
life.
out. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
no fear. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? You have to have that
Hmm.
unless you want to just unless that's what they were just going for was a funny movie.
I think
If so,
so.
you did your job.
Yeah,
So
you did your job, but just as a viewer, I want more substance to that.
more
You know what I
oomph.
mean? Because, dude,
Great
superhero
cast.
movies, yeah, great cast. They all did good, especially Jack Dylan
They could
Grazer at
do,
the end.
you could do more with that cast.
Yeah, Asher Angel did good too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah,
Ross
just
Butler,
just
my man.
definitely Ross Butler. Yeah, dude, Ross Butler killing it. So yeah, it was just missing a lot of stuff, man, and was just if it had some substance, this is up there with Shazam 1, but it just wasn't there. So,
Dude, you say it
um,
best. Tell him.
yep.
Where's the chum, baby?
Yeah, yeah. Where's the chum
Where
at,
was the
dude? There you
chum?
go. I was actually gonna say that earlier, but I was like, no, I'll say it, bro. Where's the chum at?
Where's
There
the
was really no
chum?
chum. The chum they threw at
Call
us was
Plankton.
like chum from the
Where's
Dollar
the
Tree.
chum?
You know what I mean? We don't need that. We need some like good Publix, Target chum. You know what I mean? Straight from the docks, bro, from Maryland. You know, give it to us. But no,
From Dirty Docks.
we got it from like the Dollar General down the store. You know what I mean?
Oh
In the middle of
yeah.
nowhere. But no, that's what it was missing was the chum, man, and they didn't pull the jaws and they didn't throw it out. So, and that goes to my next few cons. I'm just kind of gonna run through these because I've kind of talked about them a little bit. Not interesting. I found myself wanting to fall asleep in the theater, and those
We were
seats
talking
are not
a lot
comfortable.
of it.
Yeah, those seats are not comfortable at all in there. We still falling asleep. And then didn't feel like a DC movie is my last con, and I kind of went off on that. So
No, I mean I totally agree. Like, and I'm a very analytic, chatty person in the movie. I know a lot of people don't like to talk during movies, and I know some people love to talk during movies. I don't really like to be like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? I don't talk like that, but I like to ask like, oh, did you see that? Oh, what do you think of that? Like that was weird. You know what I mean? Or oh, I really like that. And this movie, I found myself chatty talking. I was chatty talking. I was making
he was
jokes,
commentating,
and I was I'm telling you right now, the most interested I was when I was watching Zachary Levi spear a freaking dragon. That was
Yeah.
dope. That was dope.
I saw Brayden get hype.
I was hyped because all I thought of was like Roman Reigns or Goldberg or Edge, just the spear, the Holy Grail,
You
just
think you know
unleashing
me?
on a freaking dragon. You think you know me? Unleashing on the holy dragon, dude.
Yeah,
But
man.
like, what else was I interested in? Not a damn thing. No
Yeah.
offense. And
Yeah.
I think, like I said, I will hype up those scenes all day. Those were my favorite scenes. But I agree. That's what I wanted to say as my last point. Didn't feel like a DC movie.
Mm.
Felt more like a children's movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Disney movie. I hate to, and that's Marvel,
I told
but
you.
like not even like a Marvel movie, like a Disney movie.
Yeah.
No, like the Marvel Christmas specials.
Freaking what was his Kevin
Like
Bacon, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, people actually hate that. I kind of enjoyed it for what it was. I don't know about you, but like I sat down, I enjoyed it. I was like, it's okay. I had a good time
Which
with
one?
it. The Kevin Bacon Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
Oh yeah, no, I watched the like first 10 minutes. I knew someone, I followed someone on Instagram that was in it, an extra in it. I watched
Oh,
like the first 10 minutes of it. Yeah,
yeah, it's pretty good, dude. I mean, it's not once again, it's like a popcorn movie,
yeah.
But
It's,
but it was just a special. It knew what
yeah,
it
yeah.
was. You know what I mean? It's not a
Exactly.
full feature
Well, it was,
length
dude.
thing.
It was a 10 out of 10 for what it was for.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's our pros and cons. Braden, you have anything else to say on it or no?
I don't want to stray away anyone from seeing the movie. Of course, like I said, like Zachary Levi fans, it's awesome.
This
Shazam
movie
fans.
needs people in the seats. Wait until we get to the box office. It needs people. So go watch and support this
Oh,
movie because
wow.
DC needs to keep going, man. James Gunn taking over now. We
And
need
I
to-
have to say, I really want to see a third. I want to see a third. They set it up. They didn't have
they're
to.
not going to though, bro. Because remember DC
know.
and James Gunn. So that's the thing too. It's like that's another thing when I was watching this movie. Maybe that's what took me out of it. I was sitting here and I was like, "There's no reason for this film anymore." It's like a standalone now. They're not doing a DCEU with
And I think
Shazam.
Yeah, sorry, I
I
didn't
don't
mean to
think.
cut you off. But I think that's the problem either. Like if it did well, like maybe because I said I was gonna say the only thing that's saving this franchise is that fan hype and that fandom, the demand of it. And I just if you want to gateway us into the numbers, unless you have anything final to say.
Well, let's do our ranking first.
Oh yeah,
And then
yeah,
we'll get
yeah.
into the numbers. But no, yeah, I'm with you. And just kind of recap everything, man. You know, like I said, we're not hating on it. We know how hard it is to make a film, and crap. Like sitting here, talking crap on a movie, it hurts because we know, how what goes into that, man. The hours and hours and years that go into it. But
Yeah.
this movie, sure, it's gonna. This is for a certain audience, but it just didn't really work for us.
It's a popcorn
Personally,
movie, man.
yeah, to sit down and enjoy it for what it is. So rating. Here we go. Brayden, you want to go first for a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm gonna give it a 7.1.
Whoa. Okay. All right. I expected a little lower than that, but
I'm gonna
okay.
give it a 7.1
Alright.
because the fight scenes were awesome.
Yeah.
The casting is great.
Yeah.
It was a very meta movie, so the comedy at some points did stick. It's a good popcorn movie.
I like that.
Get a little chat. Good for the kids while I'm opening my presents.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, I would go a lot lower than this, but I got to take into account, you know, this movie pretty much did what it wanted to do. I'm probably gonna give it a 6 out of 10. But I think it probably needs to go a little lower than that.
That's fair.
But just because this movie knew what
I
it
felt being
was,
too
and
mean.
yeah, and just because this movie knew what it was, I was like, all right, I'll put it up to a 6. Like I said, very meta, knew what it was. So yeah, that goes up to probably a 6 for me out of 10. Wouldn't watch it again. Not gonna go out of my way to watch it, but if it's on, I'll be like, whatever, you know.
I do have to
I'll
agree.
sit
I
down and
don't
enjoy.
think I would go out of my way to watch this film again.
No.
Maybe
But-
like a 6.8 is more reasonable.
Yeah.
You know who'd be so mad at me right now? What's his face? From Barstool.
Caleb Presley.
No.
The main guy. Yeah, I can't remember his
Oh my
name, man.
God. I
Caleb
saw him.
Presley, by the way, is carrying Barstool Sports on his back. Just want
He
to
is
say
that man.
he is him. He is
He
him.
is that dude.
I can't forgot the guy. I can see his face too, and I can hear his voice.
Dude, I
can
know.
see his
Dave
episode.
Portnoy.
Dave Portnoy.
He
Yeah,
does the
yeah,
pizza
yeah.
reviews, and he's
Yeah.
like, he tells people straight up, he's like, you're being too nice. So I'll give it like a 6.7, 6.8.
Yeah, no, that's respectable. I feel that. So yeah, that's our little review on Shazam. But we're gonna kind of
Dave, don't kill me.
Yeah, we're gonna segue into the acting news here. We only got 2 acting news, counting the box office. But I'll say the box office now before we end the YouTube video on the review. Brayden, okay, on a $125 million budget, just guess how much they made opening weekend. Just go low. Just guess.
35 million.
Oh my God, you're spot on.
Are you serious?
35 million.
Holy shit.
35 million.
I mean, holy crap, dude. Whoa, yo.
35 million, bro. Oh my God. Yeah, so
Yo,
which is
oh my
horrific.
God.
That is
that
terrible.
worldwide?
I believe worldwide they made 35 million. Let me check again.
Oh my God.
Box office. Let me see, but I believe it was
Wow, if that was domestic.
oh, okay.
I'd
No,
be
no.
like,
So global 65 million. But
but
still
domestic 35 million.
Still, that is
Holy
not
crap.
good at all. I think that's the worst DCEU opening for any DCEU
Wow.
movie. So that's just sad to see, man. Because the first movie they made like over 300 million, but that's still even not a lot. And this movie, whew. So yeah, there that is. Thanks for watching on YouTube, guys.
Yeah, we
let us know
appreciate you.
your review. You know what you think about the film.
Leave
your
it in the
pros, your
comments.
cons.
We
Give
wanna
your
know.
rating. We want to know, man. We want to know.
If you really enjoy, please, if you freaking love this movie, please make a comment. I want to talk to you.
No,
and
seriously.
like, please persuade me.
Definitely. Yeah, let us know, man. And give this video a like, subscribe if you're new, and comment down below your thoughts on it. Love y'all.
We
Appreciate
love
you
you.
guys.
I'll smooch
All
you.
right. There we go. Smooth. Just a smooth transition. Just
a little smooch.
transition. And then we only have one other big 35 million. I can't believe you got that on the dot, bro.
Dude,
Is
that's
crazy.
Dude, I was sitting
That
there, I
is
was like,
wild.
it's got to be 35.
Yeah. My boy was
That's
feeling
crazy.
it. Next time you do the lottery, put on 35.
Yo.
So yeah, box. That's just crazy. So now we have another thing that happened, and we mentioned Cocaine Bear. That's the first thing that popped up in my head. I was like, oh yeah, they announced this. Sweet Tooth season 2 is dropping April 27th on Netflix. And Brayden, I don't think you saw season 1 either. But do you know the storyline?
No.
It's actually really cool. I was talking to my buddy I
I've heard
hung
a
out
lot
with
of people
yesterday.
like it. A lot of my friends actually watched that show. But
Yeah,
I've never
so-
watched it myself.
So it's the government, and there's some kind of disease or something, and the world's going to crap. And they combine human and animal genetics into one. It's actually super interesting, like a crazy sci-fi thing, dude. And the guy I was talking to yesterday, my buddy Garrett, my buddy Garrett, my buddy Garrett.
Yo, I'm telling you right now, please. That is my favorite part.
Oh, dude.
If we ever have merge, it's my booty Garrett. Oh man.
Oh, bro.
That was my favorite. That was my
Oh
favorite.
man. My buddy Garrett was talking about it. He said, yeah, it's actually like a really cool, interesting show because it looked like a cartoonish type thing. But he says like it's like some serious stuff, man, with the government. So season 2 comes out April 27th. You know, I haven't heard anything about Sweet Magnolias season 3, but Sweet Tooth, screw you guys for making us probably push back our release date even more.
You guys suck, man.
Yeah, man, come on now. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. I'll probably I want to binge it now. I'm probably gonna start binging that to get ready for it, so we can do like a little episode on it when it comes out and do like a little episode on it and do season 1 and season 2 together.
I'd be down.
But yeah, man, we still got some time for that. But hopefully, Sweet Magnolias comes out before that. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we need to do our Sweet Mags review.
Everybody that asked me, I get asked when season 3 is coming out. Probably, I'm not even joking. At least 5 times a day. I'm being
Dude,
dead
he's
serious.
lying. He knows.
Yeah, that's what they say. They're like, "Oh yeah, you know." Guys, I do not know. I have no clue. I don't even know when the trailer's dropping.
Don't you think
dude.
he wants to know?
Yeah, exactly, man. But no,
He
they
was the one
always
who
say
did the damn thing.
Yeah, they always tell me. They're like, "Oh, you know." I'm like, no, I don't. So
I'm
yeah,
not gonna open your I am here.
open your. So yeah, Sweet Tooth season 2 dropping April 27th. Man, I'm pretty excited to watch that and see my thoughts. You know what I mean? See my thoughts.
I know. I want to see some thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm being so hype. So hyped to watch this show with you.
I can't drink water.
It's because your booty Garrett.
Okay, we're back. You see that? See that light? Look.
Yo, that was the coolest thing ever. You're like Robert
Ooh,
Downey. You're
y'all
like
see
Tony
that?
Stark right now.
Bro,
man.
I know. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
I can't breathe.
Oh man, sorry guys. I just went down the wrong pipe there.
The wrong pipe.
For real, man.
The wrong
Let's see,
pipe.
man. Cool. So, you know what that reminded me of too? The little microphone thing. You know, Ace Ventura when he goes,
Yeah.
with the window glass, bro, the sliding glass. Oh man, if y'all know what I'm talking about, I love you. This one we need to start doing, bro. We need to start like incorporating more like movie quotes. I have so many movie quotes I just never go with. And like movie moments, man. It's a movie podcast,
right.
you know what I mean? So yeah, dude, we did the Shazam 2 review and acting news, and now we're gonna dive into some method acting. It's gonna throw up that burger, bro. It's gonna finally come out.
Got me back, yeah.
So yeah, method acting, dude. I'm excited to dive into this. I've gotten a lot of questions on it. I've actually done a YouTube video on it before. But we can definitely dive into, you know, that was only a 10-minute video. I mean, we can really dive into a lot of different things and kind of open each other's eyes on different talking points.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So yeah, Brayden, if you're down, dude, I can kind of read the backstory to method acting and kind of, you know, give everybody kind of a feel of what it is and what it was and what it's become.
Absolutely.
Let's do it, baby.
Let's do it, bro.
So in the 1930s, when like film and TV started kind of becoming a thing, because theater was obviously the big thing before that, Shakespearean type stuff. But then film and TV started kind of making its way in. Marilyn Monroe, James Dean, and a few other like big actresses and actors back in the day in like the 40s, probably like 50s, 40s, really started adapting this thing called method acting. Now, they don't really know exactly who it came from. They have an idea. I forgot the guy's name, but it is not really totally clear.
Konstantin Stanislavski.
Okay, he knows. Brayden knows.
Oh yeah, he created the method.
There you go. So he's kind of the guy that people usually kind of point to, saying that he kind of created it. But a lot of other people also kind of came up with the same kind of thing back in the day. And what's really interesting is the way that it kind of changed over time. So when method acting kind of first became a thing, it began as a technique that was just kind of like putting real life situations and real life emotion into your character like on screen, which is really interesting stuff, which now is kind of what every actor does. But back in the day, that was kind of a big thing. So they would, let's say, you know, you're at a funeral in the movie or TV show. Yeah, we're getting dark like that. And, you know, and these actors and actresses would take that emotion and take those circumstances and situations from their real life, you know, when they went to a funeral, when one of their family members or someone, their friends died, and they bring it into that scene to make it more emotional. That's actually what method acting originally was starting out. And as time went on, I think a big reason that it also changed was, you know, acting back in the day was very straightforward. There was no big roles. You know what I mean? It was just, oh, you know, the lady down the street or, you know, just a business guy. As acting's gotten bigger and as it's gone along, there's been superheroes. There's been these, you know, aliens, you know what I mean? People from different planets, stuff like that. So it's harder to kind of take real life experiences. So method acting has kind of become more, or like biopics is another good example of why it changed. So now method acting is kind of moved into literally becoming the character, and it kind of, I guess, is still kind of like putting real life situations into you know, the character you're portraying. But it's gotten to the point where it's like you literally are the character, and you live by whatever means that character lives by to kind of get more of a mental understanding of what the character is and how he or she would react to certain situations and stuff like that. So method acting has changed a lot over the years, and like I said, I feel like it's because of the different projects and stuff like that have kind of come out of Hollywood. But
Yeah.
Brayden, if you have anything to expand on that, because I know you did your research on the history too, you can go for it, bro.
Dude, it's just I'm a mega nerd. Like being in theater from my 6th grade to 12th grade, I had a very, like I said, I've told you before. My one director for the first few years, her name was Nina Cochran. She was just like, dude, like Uta Hagen and like Stella Adler. She was freaking crazy, man, in the best way possible. But um, Konstantin Stanislavski in like the 1870s, 1890s developed the idea of method, not method acting, just the idea of method, where it is like the idea of um taking yourself into pulling real life, they call it emotion memory, using emotional memory, which is like experiences and trauma from your past to recreate the scene. And you have someone like Lee Strasberg, who he started like his theater in 1920s, and he co-founded the group with man, I can't think who co-founded it with. I have some of the stuff I wrote down. He co-founded the American Group Theater, and he pushed Stanislavski's technique, and he believed heavily in the emotional memory, as the main emphasis on why you should, have your method acting. Where Stella Adler, she and Strasberg actually stayed friends for a very long time,
Yeah.
but she didn't necessarily totally agree with how Strasberg taught at the theater. She actually like really did not enjoy training under him. I think as people she respected him, but she didn't like his method as much because she met with Stanislavski personally and came up with her own method. And she found that using emotion memory was too upsetting, and it yeah, she basically found that it was too upsetting, met with Stanislavski, and kind of created her own thing. But in my personal opinion, this is me personally, I think Sanford Meisner is the one who discovered it the best and figured out the best. He was definitely in the same group theater with Strasberg and Adler, but he developed his own method techniques by himself, ideas based on finding truth in imaginary, like given circumstances. His idea, like the main push for it, is acting is reacting. So your whole job as an actor is to react.
I didn't
And
know that.
yeah, I think, and he, like these three were the ones who all wanted the same thing. And Stanislavski himself, like, was like, yo, they're all right. Like, you know what I mean? As time goes over. And I think that's the thing with all four of them is they both wanted the same end goal. And it's just about how you can get there yourself. And Stanislavski's method is definitely different from the three's method acting. But in my opinion, I would say I think Meisner sharpened the stone the best. I
Meisner
think
is definitely probably the most relevant for sure, because that's what everybody's doing right now.
100%. And with
Um,
cinematic acting, that's how I feel like it's getting more and more
yep,
nowadays, the
yep,
reacting.
exactly. Well, that's what every acting coach says is acting is reacting. That's
Hmm.
literally the go-to. It's so cliche, but it's
Yeah.
true. That's what acting is, man. Acting is just reacting to the people around you or the emotions or circumstances in the scene. Um,
Yeah.
but what's interesting though is nowadays you see a lot of mixture of all those in a one
Hmm.
with some of these bigger people,
Absolutely.
which we're gonna get to in a second.
I
No,
think,
I didn't know about those like the three different groups. That's cool.
yeah, not to cut you off,
No,
but
you're good.
that's like, I think that's very interesting about today is like what people like that still exist. People like Stella Adler, Strasberg, and Meisner, all people want to make their technique all the time. And it's like even Howard Fine probably has his own technique, but like,
Yeah.
where do you build off from that? You know what I mean? It's kind of like what you're saying with that mix. It's like they set a really good Stanislavski set a great foundation, and they kind of really put like the columns up. What else could you really go with from here? You know what I mean? They're just tightening those fours kind of. Yeah, you know what I mean?
it
Techniques.
it's like a family tree, you know what I mean? All branches from them, and
Hmm.
there might be some little differences here and there, but like you said, they really built the foundation and built what the method acting is because, like you said, they already kind of built multiple different foundations, so there's nowhere to go. It always points to one of those
Yeah.
people. But yeah, no, that's really interesting, dude. I think the one guy that you said that did the best, I forgot what was his name.
Meisner, Sanford
Meisner.
Meisner.
Yeah, Meisner knew what was up.
He did.
He had an idea of, hey, some of these roles are going to be so unrealistic where you literally can't bring your
Whole
own.
emotional memory.
Yeah, you just can't do it. You can't imagine fighting an alien.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like, what's the movie we always talk about? I'm sorry, I'm
Bernie
camping
the
a brain.
Dolphin, bro.
Bernie the Dolphin, bro. Bernie the Dolphin, dog.
Oh, dude.
Oh
What?
my God.
I'm trying to think of the movie. We said
The one
what?
with Interstellar. It was
Interstellar. Yeah,
I was
dude.
totally Bernie the Dolphin. Interstellar is so far unimaginable. Like, not that you couldn't use emotional memory, but that's not gonna work for every single person. Like, you have to be in that instance. I feel like you're a special individual.
Yeah, and you like you said, you can use some elements of it, like especially Matthew McConaughey. He has his own kids, so he
Like,
understands the
yeah,
love for your kids and love for your kids in that situation for sure. But like you said, you can't imagine a situation and being in the fifth dimension,
being the
and
fifth dimension, your
yeah,
daughter ends up being like 80 years older than you.
yeah.
Like, it's just not happening.
No. But there are elements that you can bring into it. So that's what's interesting is they bring all these different versions of what method was, and they put it
Yeah.
all together nowadays, which is really interesting stuff. Some people just combine the worst of the worst, which we'll get into in a little bit.
Yeah.
And it just becomes full on harassment and stuff like that. And we'll kind of dive into it, and then we'll kind of once again give our own opinions on it as well.
Mm.
So yeah, man. I don't know if you have anything else to say about like the history of it, but
I
we'll
think
kind of
that's
move
it on
on.
history. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm not talking about Uda Hagen as much, but Uda Hagen was very theater. Like, it doesn't really have relevance.
We do not care.
We do not care. Stanislavski's method also, he was theater at the time, but that's what's kind of so amazing about him is he was born in like the 18, like, I don't want to be wrong, 1850s, 60s, maybe 70s. And that's why it's almost impressive that he wanted that more of method, realistic acting when stage was still popular. You know what I mean? He was
Yeah,
one of the first innovators, but they all kind of trained together under him. I think it's
smart
really
man.
cool. I
Really
actually
smart
saw
man.
some clips of Strasberg teaching. I thought it was super amazing. I would love to work
Oh,
with someone
really?
like that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's dope.
I've seen a clip in theater of Mark Ruffalo. He worked with, I think it was either Stella Adler or Uda Hagen. I can't remember.
They were alive?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I thought. When were they born?
Super old, like
Yeah,
super
that's what
old.
I'm saying, bro. They had to be like some interstellar
But he
stuff.
was
You know
like
what I
young,
mean?
like he was like in like high school,
Yeah, because
college.
Mark Ruffalo's in his 50s, isn't he?
Yeah,
So yeah, he's probably like in the 80s in. So that makes sense, I guess. It could be in the 80s.
yeah. I
Dang,
think it was
bro,
around
that's
there. They were like
crazy.
super old themselves. They were
Yeah.
probably like 80 themselves.
No, I get that, bro. Yeah, they were up there. They were up there. So yeah, I don't know where you want to go from this, Brayden. We can go either into our like some examples of method actors or performances, or we can kind of talk about our opinion on it. But I think we can give our opinion as we go through these different performances and actors. Don't you think?
I agree because I was gonna say like I don't have too many negative ones. There are definitely a few we need to showcase, and I think
Yeah.
we're definitely gonna agree upon.
Hmm.
But I have mostly good ones. There's just a few people that actually come to mind.
Yeah.
Certain
And
specific man.
oh yeah, and there's different types of
Notorious.
and there's different types of method acting nowadays too. That's what's
Yeah.
so you have those three main ones that we've been talking about. Some people mix them, some people mix the other two and they leave one out. And method acting could be once again living the life of the character, or it can just be getting in the physical nature of that character, if that makes sense. That's still
Mhm.
technically method acting.
Yeah.
So there's a couple different versions of that we're gonna dive into here. So yeah, Brayden, you can start first with either an actor or performance that you really thought was
I had a few
methodical.
written down.
Yeah, man, go for it.
I think one of the best ones, and it's probably the most iconic, so we'll get out of the way first, is Heath Ledger's Joker.
Let's put a smile on that face.
Just the most iconic example. In my opinion, it's that or Johnny Depp's Jack Sparrow.
Yeah,
He actually
yeah,
did some method acting for
yeah.
that. And I think I'm not even saying those maybe the Heath Ledger one. Those are some of the best, but most well-known method acting
Mm-hmm.
performances. Because I have a few method actors who more consistently do it, but I think those ones are the two. When people think method acting, those are the two characters. If I were to tell you, like, if you were to see him, like, what's method acting? I'd be like Captain Jack. Or I'd be like the Joker.
Yeah.
Those are like the two people
Best
and you'd be like,
examples.
I get you.
Mm.
So I'll start off with those, and those guys are just Heath Ledger himself, even Brokeback, bro. He's a fantastic method actor, and
Yeah.
he is a method actor.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, ultimately, do a lot of people think that method acting surrounds his demise? I personally don't think so. I think
Mm-hmm.
maybe he just, I don't know, maybe you got upset from doing that to yourself, but I don't think the technique itself, like he didn't have to push it that far. Maybe that's an example of being pushed too far in the element.
Are you saying that it's not the method acting's fault and it's his fault? Is that what you're saying?
I
'Cause
think,
that's what I think.
and I hate to say it, I think a solidly trained, coherent actor who maybe even sees a therapist. I know a lot of celebrities talk about going to therapy. With the right mindset, you should. It's kind of like Star Wars, man. Like Anakin, he's like Anakin. You never let that power get out of your hands. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? He indulged, but he indulged too much.
Yeah.
If that is the case, if method acting was the cause, I think it's his. Not to be disrespectful, but his fault. I think there's a lot of people who have done method
Mm-hmm.
acting, similar roles where, I mean, I could even name a few, but I was gonna let get some points. You've
Yep.
seen these ones, so you can agree on these, but like The Revenant with Leo,
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio,
Yep.
or Lincoln with Daniel
Oh,
Day-Lewis.
we'll get into that.
Yeah, like these guys, and I'm not saying like, but I'm not saying Lincoln's easy. You know what I mean? Living in a
Mm-hmm.
wooden, he literally lived in a wooden cabin for months, and Daniel Day-Lewis, Adrian Brody in The Pianist, he moved to Europe by himself before filming started and lived in a house by himself
Yeah.
to try and get in the mindset of a Jewish person. So there's a lot of examples of where it has gone wrong, but I think in the right circumstance, it always should go right. You know what I mean? With the right training, with the right mental capacity.
No, I get that. And kind of going back to Heath Ledger, man. No, what I love about Heath too, man, is he didn't let it affect anybody else. Like that's my big negative when it comes to method
Absolutely.
acting. You can beat yourself up. You can beat
Yeah.
yourself up. Sadly, to even Heath's limit, I think, which was obviously suicide.
Yeah.
We can't do anything about that. We
Hmm.
can't do anything, right? Why could you can't control somebody else's, body and what they do. You can't. So you can't really harp over that. That was what Heath did. Heath literally, his passion and his life was acting, and he knew he was pushing himself down a hole with the Joker
Hmm.
character, and he still did it anyway. And I do once like what Brayden said, you have to know the limit of yourself. Heath just didn't know it.
You gotta have a Logan
Heath
out
didn't
in your
know.
life. If you're down, you know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
I was, I'm telling you, if I was ever in a spot like that, like I'd give Logan and Alan a call. We're going to Boca Raton for like a month.
Low gang, baby.
We're
Yeah,
going to
no,
Boca Raton for a month.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna hit it up, baby. Down some Fort Lauderdale, man. But no. So So that's my opinion. It's like you can't control what other people do, and Heath just didn't know his limit, or he knew his limit, and he didn't care, which is probably the most plausible.
Yeah, and
He
it's
just
the most respectful, not respectful, like respectable, but like saddening way to go out.
and right, and that's the thing too. He didn't hurt anybody else, And some of these other performances
Like
that we're gonna get
someone
to in a minute.
else who played the same character as him.
Well, and then a few other people too, that I have written down. But like he didn't mess. Like that's what I don't get, bro. Like, listen, I know actors that hate. They don't hate other method actors, but they hate the method actors that are like rude or use it as an excuse to just be a dick
A
on
douche
set.
on, yeah,
You know what I
dude.
mean?
I hate
And
that.
and that's what a lot of people have problems with.
Bro, if someone's like, you want a muffin for when you get off set, like, don't look at them. I will not take your muffin, bitch. Get away from me, bitch. I'm like, what? Jesus Christ, man. Like,
Oh, dude, that's cold.
I was
no,
doing some method acting there.
yeah.
I was really
He
channeling.
really got into a character. He's gonna be like that the rest of the episode, guys. So strap up. But But no, so and that's what it goes to with some people, man, is they can't control it, and it's like, listen, bro, if you have to do that for a character, just stop. Just stop.
Stop.
I mean, seriously. And don't mess with other people. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've never understood, man. Is just don't bother other people, and that's what Heath Ledger was known for, not bothering other people. What he was known for was being a method actor and getting into
Complete
character and staying in a
isolation.
character and complete isolation, but he was sweet to people. And if he was a character like the Joker, where he was obviously, mentally insane, he didn't put himself in situations where he had to talk to people. He isolated himself because he knew that he was in character, and Joker's not the nicest guy. So we understood that, and he always made sure that everybody was comfortable, and to an extent, he obviously wanted the actresses to feel comfortable or uncomfortable, and the actors to feel uncomfortable around him. But he didn't go to an unmoral extent. And Heath Ledger knew his limits, and that's why I think he's one of the best method actors to ever do it, for sure.
And he's this person I'm about to say is also going to show up on this list in the very same movie. Christian Bale, he is a phenomenal, maybe a top 3 best method actor of all time. And what I will say with his performance is, it's funny with Batman, he talks so highly of Heath, but he was always say like Heath was so scary, right? But as soon as the cameras went off, he was so nice. He was just the sweetest guy. And like, that's so weird to hear.
Walking
and
back
maybe,
to trailers, yeah.
Yeah, maybe he didn't say he was the most outgoing guy or the most, rambunctious or loudest. He said he was the nicest. Maybe he doesn't go up and greet everybody, but if somebody's gonna talk to him, he was so sweet still.
Well, and funny story with Heath, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No.
I saw the guy that played Two-Face, dude. What's his name? He's in a bunch of stuff. He's a good actor. The dude that played Two-Face in The Dark Knight.
Yeah, dude.
What's his
Somebody
name?
just. Oh.
He's such a good actor, dude. I should know this stuff. But
I'm really thinking Harvey Dent.
yeah, Harvey.
Yeah, his name is Harvey Dent.
Dude, oh my God. I'm so, everybody's screaming at me right now listening to the podcast. I'm sorry. I should know this. But he said that, so the scene that him and Heath Ledger had in the hospital, the really bad scene where he takes off the mask and he didn't notice it was Joker before he took off the mask. I've never understood that, but whatever. It's like, it's obviously the Joker. But he takes off the mask, that whole thing where he's talking to him. Harvey Dent doesn't have any lines. But there's like in the script when what's his name? Look it up for me, Bray. I'll look it up myself. Let me look this up. Dark Knight. It's bothering me so bad because I know him, dude.
That is my dude.
Aaron, dude. Oh my God.
My dude.
Aaron Eckhart. Okay, so Aaron. So Aaron said that when he first got the script for that scene, there was not a lot of literally nothing for him to do in it. He was just sitting there, like shaking, not even shaking in his bed. He was literally just sitting there. And he said when he got onto set, he didn't know what the scene was going to be. He had no idea what was going to happen. And he said when he got there, Heath was like, when he got into the on set and sat in the bed and stuff through like blocking and everything, Heath was just pacing back and forth at the foot of his bed, just going, you know what I mean? The typical Joker stuff. And he was just always in character on set. And he said that, Heath would just randomly come up and start the scene with him while they were setting up the cameras and stuff. And Aaron said that that just over probably the next couple hours or so while they were setting everything up, they were just going through the scene and adding stuff in. And Aaron would just say, or not say, but he would just do movements that just felt right for that scene. And Heath would add stuff in, kind of improvising a in front of the directors. And he said that he did that for hours on end, and Heath would not talk to him at all when he was not saying the lines, would not speak a word to him. And he said that when he was walking back to his trailer, back to base camp, he says he was walking next to Heath, and Heath looked over to him and said, "That's what acting's all about, isn't it?" And he says that was just such a good moment, dude.
Gave me
just
chills right there, man.
That's what I'm saying,
amazing.
man. And Heath understood what acting was, and once again, and Aaron too said that he didn't make him feel uncomfortable at all. Heath knew his limits, but knew how to get into a character's head and to play that character and do method acting, I think, in the most beautiful way. And there's a reason why he will point to The Dark Knight and the Joker performance from Heath Ledger as the go-to method actor.
Yeah, you have some of the best method actors in that movie.
That's what I'm saying. And the reason is is because it is the best. It is, in my opinion, it's the best method acting performance I think ever. And I know it's a cliche pick. Everyone picks it, but it's true, dude, because he knew his limits and he delivered an incredible performance and one of the best performances I think we've ever seen. I think anybody can agree there. Definitely top 10. And just the way that Aaron said it in the interview, walking back, and Heath just looked over to him and said, "That's what acting's all about, man," and hugged it out and stuff. Like
awesome.
Just unreal for hours of not speaking to each other. You know what I mean?
It's freaking awesome.
Such good stuff. So I just had to kind of tell that little story real quick, but no. So it I love that he knew his limits, and I'll kind of throw out. You said, did you mention? You mentioned Christian Bale. Christian Bale is my favorite actor of all time. I know we're going to be ranking our top 10 actors here soon.
Little fact about Logan.
But yeah, we'll be ranking our top 10 actors here soon, guys. So that kind of spoiled that a little bit. But yeah, Christian Bale's my favorite, and the main reason is because of his method acting, and not necessarily method acting mentally, but how we can go from being 95 pounds in The Machinist to being 240 pounds or 225 pounds in Batman Begins. A year later, a year and a half.
He goes and plays. Who was the big fat guy? Was that?
Oh, it's gonna bother me too, dude.
Was it? It wasn't one of the presidents, was it?
No.
I'm thinking of the Churchill movie. He played that big guy. Sorry, I love me some big guys. You know what I mean?
What's his name, bro? I'm gonna find it right now because that's gonna bother me. American or not American Hustle? Is it American Hustle? No, it wasn't American Hustle. He got big in American Hustle as well. I can't remember the. Oh my god, I don't know, dude. That's gonna bother me. I don't remember, but he had the glasses on and everything. I remember watching it. But no, just unreal that he can go from one thing to the other.
There.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I literally looked up like his top 10 transformations and wasn't even on the list. So just the fact that this guy is just so dedicated to all his roles, and like, you can be physically dedicated but not be emotionally there. He's emotionally there. And he does it so freaking well, man. I know it's always the foreign guys, bro. It's always the British guys. Yeah, the Australian guys too, man.
Dude, England's just got like the foundation, dog.
Facts.
Ridiculous.
All the Toms, you know what I mean? They're always Toms too.
Dude, all these Toms,
these Toms, man. Tom Holland, Tom Hiddleston, Tom Hardy. We can go on and on, bro.
Get them out of here. I'm done with them.
Get out of here.
You can have Tom Cruise. We'll do a draft.
We should do that. Our top 10 Toms, bro. Top 5 Toms.
Top 10 Toms? Oh, yeah, top 5 Toms.
Yeah, dude. Oh, man. Chris's? Tom Hanks,
You do Chris's, too.
A lot of Tom. Chris's, too. Chris would be a good one. But yeah, no, another guy too, Brayden, that we can kind of go into, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, is Jared Leto is another big one that everybody goes to. Jared is a very, methodical actor, very, very method. And, big thing that he did was, the Joker and Suicide Squad. And he's a good example of doing it in the wrong way.
The most worst method actor ever. The most indirected method actor ever. Mm-hmm. He has the most wrong idea of what method act. He shouldn't even be people of the public, because they don't know method acting, compare him to method acting, when that is not at all what any of the 4 people that we talked about in this episode have ever mentioned, dude.
Yeah.
And what he did in Morbius?
What?
He would have people stroll him around the wheelchair.
Oh, I remember seeing that.
And people would literally walk with him, stand him up, walk him to the bathroom, and like hold him while he pissed.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, no,
for freaking superhero?
From Morbius.
Get the hell out of here. Get out. I would walk off set, dude. I'm like, who's paying this bozo?
Yeah, Jared.
Good.
And Jared's had good performances for sure, but just, really good performances. But you can't treat your actors the way that he treats all his co-stars and this crew and stuff, man.
He's like the Kirk Cousins of the acting world. He's too inconsistent, dog. Like
those Monday nights, bro. Those Monday nights.
He has some good days, and he just doesn't have some great. Like it's over here, or it's completely over here.
Facts, bro. I'm with you, man.
And you can't do that when you want to be a method actor, because that's when you strain the idea of it, and people get the wrong idea, and
Yeah.
you definitely create a bad light for it.
A really bad light. You're 100%
Really
right.
bad
That's
light.
not what it is. That's not what method acting is at all. It
Mhm.
just takes us to the extremes. And speaking of, performances like that, I hate to say this because this guy is on my top 10 actors of all time list, and I love them to death. Daniel Day-Lewis in Lincoln and a few of his other movies he's done, just treated his entire crew and cast just in really bad light. His co-star
Really?
in Lincoln came out about how not abusive, but just verbally just was a terrible, terrible guy to be around on set. And Daniel
Wow.
Day-Lewis is known as one of the nicest guys outside of set. This shows how like mentally these people get into it, where they don't even care about their image, I guess, in a way. And I respect the dedication, but you gotta have a bar. You have to have a bar, man.
Dang.
And Daniel Day-Lewis, as much as I love him, because he's literally dude, I could do my top 10 performances of all time, and he'd probably have 4 up there, 3 up
Yeah,
there.
I'm not
I
gonna
mean,
lie. He probably is my best method actor of all
yeah,
time.
unreal.
But being a
Um,
douche,
yeah.
that's not a good
Well,
thing.
because he's done it better in the past. Like, Lincoln was really his first one, from what I've done my research on, that he was actually, like, not good in, or not nice in.
Maybe he knew.
But,
He was
yeah,
like, I'm getting that award.
yeah, that's what he was going for. That's what he was going for.
But
And
maybe
he
it's
did a
like I
good
was
job in that
saying.
movie, too, man. He was good in Lincoln.
He lived in a wooden, like a cabin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Very
Yeah.
similar to Lincoln. So maybe that was it.
And,
Because like for me, like most of his performances are method acting, and he's like you said.
and,
But that's
and,
not cool.
and listen, I don't mind the cabin stuff. Like, you're not bothering people.
Yeah, yeah. But when
But
you're
when
being
you
rude,
start being rude to people, that's where I'm just like, no, stop, bro.
that's when
Like, seriously.
you're alleviating the mic. That's where, again, it's not similar to Heath's in this. It's two different. It's the same category, but two different spectrums of it. Where his is more of emotional. This one's like, it is still emotional, but like you're you need to learn to pull yourself back in because now you're getting okay. Sorry, everybody. Everyone's like, this guy just had a spasm on the mic.
Oh no, I had a
Yeah,
few of those today. Don't worry.
no. So Heath Ledger, he didn't realize how to pull himself back into reality, like to himself, and be okay again. Where Daniel Day-Lewis is creating the problem is he doesn't know how to learn to be him again. Like not himself internally and what he is mentally and who he is. You know, we all learn that's a journey of life. You know, we want to figure out who we are as people, what our morals are.
That
He
was
doesn't
deep.
know when to stop playing. Thank you. Oh, thank you. He doesn't know when to stop playing the character, it seems like. You know what I mean? And that's where you are bringing another bad light to it in a completely different way. And, you know, where Heath's is a little bit more poetic and a little bit saddening, this one kind of just annoys me. It's like, you know, you're one of the best. You're like Kanye right now, dude. You're pulling a Kanye. What are you
Yeah,
doing, Daniel?
yeah. You had everything in front of you, man.
You got to learn to pull back in.
It really sucked to see that out of him, man. Just
Like, if it happens once or twice, you know what I mean? I can understand if somebody was like, yeah, we maybe had like 1 or 2 times where he was this way, but like, you know, to make a headline like that because you were being a part of my friend's dick.
and when your co-stars are complaining, that's when it's like,
Not even like the extras or like
yeah,
people who don't get a chance to really work with you. Like these people who work side by side with you are
yeah.
like, he's a douche.
Yeah, no, I've never understood that, man, and he's such a good actor. So it's like, it's Daniel Day Lewis,
Man.
you know what I mean?
He's a
Like,
Kanye.
yeah, exactly, exactly. This Kanye says some crazy stuff, man. But I mean, graduation, you know what I mean?
Hey,
Graduation,
put
man. College
graduation.
dropout.
Yeah.
But no, same thing with Daniel Day Lewis, man. It's like, dude, I never even listened to Donda, dude. I was like, I can't, man.
I liked the I wanna go to the moon.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
I
yeah.
really care for
Dude,
it.
the choir. Did you see that video of him with the choir? And he was it was the Jesus album he did, and he was with James Corden, and they're in like the plane or in the bus or whatever, and the whole like church choir is behind him, and they're singing it. Dude, it's actually insane. I gotta send it to you. It's a vibe. No, you feel like you're being lifted by angels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, so yeah, you know, that one really sucked, and I'll got one more, Brayden. I'll let you say a few after this because I kind of went on a spree here, but I just got one more left. Jack Nicholson's another big time method actor.
I love you. You literally gatewayed into the people I want to talk about.
There you go, perfect. Jack Nicholson, man, A very unique style for sure, and a big time job by him was The Shining, and he wasn't
Absolutely.
someone who,
Prime example of that.
yeah, he wasn't someone who was he made so he's kind of a merge, I guess, of Heath Ledger and Daniel Day-Lewis. That's probably the best way to explain it. You know what I mean? He knew how to turn off a switch in a way, but at the same time, he made his co-stars feel very uncomfortable, and everybody on set feel very uncomfortable in a couple of his films that he's done. But you never heard really anybody come out and say anything like super negative about him or in a bad
Yeah.
way. And I take Jack Nicholson over his performance and his version of method acting over the Jared Leto and Daniel Day-Lewis method acting any day of the week. And he kind of found a nice little spot between Jared Leto and Christian Bale, for sure.
Yeah.
My thoughts.
That's definitely one of the better performances you could definitely say. Like, especially The Shining itself, like that is, known to be one of the best method performances, exactly for the
So
reasons you
good,
just said.
so good.
Exactly for the reasons you just said. Um, yeah, I'm gonna mention one more dude because he is that dude, and that's Adrian Brody. Dude, what a
Yes,
freaking lad, dude.
Adrian Brody,
Like
man.
The Pianist is one of my favorite movies of all time for a reason. And that was another thing. He did it the right way. Like he wasn't mean to anybody. He moved to Europe by himself and lived alone. Just to get the idea of being a Jew. You know what I mean? And I'm not hey, I swear I'm not even
Yeah,
trying to
it's
say
what he
that.
did. No,
You
it's
know
what
what I
he's.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's really terrible, but then, you've never heard a bad thing about this man. And I feel like he's one of the most underrated actors, and it's super saddening for me.
We talked about that, and I'm with you 100% on that. He is literally the
Yeah.
fact that, like you say, Adrian Brody, even though he's won a crap ton of awards,
But
nobody knows who he
nobody
is.
says it. You know what
No,
I mean?
no,
Like nobody talks about it. It's
no.
crazy.
He's won two
Um,
Oscars, right?
I think it's two or three. I don't
Two
want
or
to be
three.
overzealous and give him a third, but I don't know.
He deserves it, probably. He deserves
He
that third,
freaking
dude.
deserves it, dude.
No, dude, I love Adrian. I actually started watching his movies the past couple years for the first time because I'll be honest, I didn't know who he was before
Yeah,
2020 at all. And then
he's a
after
freaking
2020, I
dog,
started
dude.
watching his films. I started getting into movies more in general and started watching
Yeah.
a lot of his stuff. Dude, I would love to just do an episode like solely on him to really kind of talk about him a lot because I think, like you said, dude, he's such a
When you look
sweet
at,
guy, such a sweet dude, and his performances are actually unreal. I mean, they're
I w-
unbelievable.
I would like, dude, this might be like crazy. If I had a template of an actor, it'd probably be him. Like if
Yeah.
you had like, or like he's like my NBA logo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Because the
get that.
NBA logo is
Iconic.
not even like Michael or
Yeah.
LeBron. It's
Yeah.
he is my NBA logo.
Yeah.
Like he deserves that title for he's just that. This is what I think of when I think of him.
I feel
You know what
that.
I mean?
Yeah.
As weird as that sounds.
No, it's
Um,
true.
but these last few guys I just wanted to mention, a few other people, like you got Leo and you got Shia LaBeouf.
Shia
I
LaBeouf's a big
think
one.
Shia LaBeouf, he's a pretty huge one. I think he's amazing. He's personally like one of my top five actors of all time. I freaking adore Shia LaBeouf. Like if I ever get to meet that man, like end of the world. Um, but these guys I kind of want to talk about because they the daddies. They the daddies of it. And
Yeah.
that's like Marlon Brando and a
Yeah.
good Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Those guys, I'll even throw Robert De Niro in there. Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro,
Those
man.
three, those three are your main three old school actors. When people think of like the greats, like you're like, dang, bro, those are the
Mm,
dudes. Those are the
mm.
guys. They all seem like they should just. We're okay. I'm not wrong, right? Were they in The Irishman together? Was it all? Not all three of them. Two of them were. Not Marlon. No, they weren't.
No, I
Marlon's
don't
been
think
dead.
so. Yeah, yeah, he's
Marlon's
been dead.
been
Yeah, yeah,
long
yeah, yeah.
dead.
No, no, no.
It's
Which
not the other two.
I don't know.
They all feel like they should be in a movie together at some point.
You're 100%
You know what I
right.
mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm
Well, you
creating
need to make
some.
it happen because they're in their 80s or 70s. So we need to make
Well,
it.
Marlon's
Oh,
gone.
Marlon's gone. Yeah.
But
Damn.
that's why I kind of give him like the granddaddy status because he was kind of a little bit older than them. But
Damn. I forgot.
those three, man, I feel like those are the three founding fathers. If you were gonna go on like not even a Rushmore, I would go like more the Constitution of like method acting,
The
you know what I mean?
signatures at the bottom
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
Declaration of Independence.
we've got Adler and Strasbourg. Those guys
Yeah.
are like earlier Ottoman empires. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
These three are the Constitution signers.
Yeah.
But just like The Godfather, um, dude, you even look at Scarface. Scarface, and I wouldn't even say that's his
Yeah.
best method acting performance, but it's probably his most notable performance, Pacino. But dude, like that itself was method acting,
Mhm.
and those guys, man, ah, they're just so good.
I'm with you.
I sometimes there's only a few men today that will ever touch the status of those three. You know what I mean?
Probably, I don't think any, to be honest. Think about
Yeah,
it. The impact that they've
I think
had
Leo
and the
comes the
fact that they.
close,
That's true. Yeah,
just because he's Leo.
Leo. Yeah, Leo's
What
up
a
there.
what a little
Dude,
dirt bag.
and that's the thing too. Leo's another good example. He gets a lot of love, but when you really look at his like IMDb and look at everything he's done, it's unreal.
I must say, the Oscars have snubbed him way too. Like, no
Oh,
offense,
it's not even.
the
Yeah,
Oscars,
100%.
it's
Yeah, the
ridiculous.
Revenant. That's not even his best. Not even
Best
close.
movie.
It,
I don't care what you say. He should have won during the Wolf of Wall Street. I
oh,
love
100,
Matthew
dude.
McConaughey. I do. But like I would take that. That speech was probably the best Oscar speech I've ever heard, but I would take that Oscar away from him to give to Leo any freaking day of the week, dude.
Dude, I mean, there's probably off the top of my head maybe 4 or 5 performances that I think were Oscar, probably more. No, one. I'm thinking of. I mean, you got Inception, you got Shutter Island, Revenant is definitely a really good one for sure. I even like Romeo and Juliet. I thought Romeo and Juliet. I don't know
A
if
lot
you've
of
seen
yeah,
that.
I have.
Unreal. I mean, it's insane, dude. Loved his performance in that. Especially the Shakespearean type of the script and dialogue, which I thought he was just unreal in. Him and
Mm-hmm.
Claire Danes both could have did some got some awards off of that. Of course, you got Titanic. There's just a
Yep.
couple I'm just naming off the top of my head, man. That he definitely deserves. And Wolf of Wall Street, of course. I mean, you can go on. That, like I said,
Did he
Leo.
get nominated with Once Upon a Time, right?
I want to say yes,
Because
but
Pitt
I'm
won supporting actor.
um I don't know, man. I don't.
Are you looking it
Do
up?
you know
I
what
was about
year
to
that
look it up.
was?
2019, 2018. I don't want to be wrong. I think 2018. I want to say 2018, but it felt too far back.
I don't know if
Sorry,
he was
everybody. This is
nominated, but he
Dylan.
definitely was. Definitely didn't win. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking right now. I don't know, Brayden. That's
Let me find this. But do you have any more points? Anything else? Any other actors that you can think of? Those were kind of my last three that I had on the list.
dude. I
Felt
don't.
like they
He
should
wasn't
get
even
some
nominated,
limelight.
unless this is the wrong year.
Oh, it's 2022. I'm so sorry.
2022.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Where'd you get 2019 from, bro?
Hey,
The hell?
man. I don't know.
These years have been flying by. No, I don't really have any other points, man. Just we kind of went off on a little actor, kind of loving these actors, bro. But and like I said, we'll do a top 10 acting, or top 10 actors of all time, and we'll dive into that. But Leo, I just got to say, is someone who everybody knows who he is.
Correction.
But
I meant 2020. I don't know why I said 2020.
you're just everywhere.
Oh man,
but
I'm so wild.
but like he's one of those actors that like he's so overrated that he's underrated. If that makes sense.
He did get nominated.
He got nominated.
Yep. It was
There you
that
go.
was the Joaquin Phoenix Joker year.
Oh yeah, 2020. Damn.
Damn.
Joaquin did a good job though.
Yeah, deserved it.
Um. So yeah, man. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to hit. Brayden, do you have any other things you want to talk about?
No, absolutely. And if anybody in the comments, you know what I mean, like neither of us are professionals. Like you know what I mean? I don't go to school for this stuff anymore. I take my coaching. I try to work on my craft as is, but the history, I know what I was taught. That's about it. So if anybody has any cool information, I'd love to hear it. You know what I mean? We sit here and we talk about this stuff for 3 hours. Like we love talking about this stuff. Any other method acting nominees you have, we'd love to hear it. I'm there's tons of performances I've left out, but
Oh
we're
yeah.
just trying to get to the main guys. We appreciate you guys always. I hope you enjoyed the episode. And
Yeah,
this
man.
was kind of what I felt like our first real like actor, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we talked about acting stuff, you know what
Yeah.
I
No,
mean?
it
And
felt
history
good.
of it all.
Which
Felt
is
good.
why we need to definitely do a we definitely need to do our top 10 actors because we can
And
really
it's good
dive into
because
performances and stuff.
we do really agree on method acting a lot more. You know what I mean? Knowing
do.
that we have the same idea,
Mhm.
the same. We're Meisner guys. Acting is reacting,
Yeah.
baby. Like
Yeah.
not that crazy stuff.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you for sure. But yeah, man, I think that's it for all we wanted to talk about. And yeah, this upcoming week, Brayden, if you want to get some John Wick 4, baby, and we can.
Yes, dude.
and-
I'm so. Are
well,
you seeing the reviews?
the reviews are actually insane. I mean,
I've heard it's the
people
best action
movie of all time, which I'm like,
time.
I mean, I don't know, we'll see. But we need to watch the movies, and then this upcoming week, guys, we can do a John Wick 4 review, and then rank all the John Wick movies, which would be pretty cool, and kind of do a
Ooh.
little ranking on them.
And
Man.
I'm pretty
and then,
much. I have to watch. I would like to rewatch the second one.
Mhm.
Well, actually, I should rewatch both. I've seen the first and second. Never saw
Same
the
here.
third.
I'm literally the same boat with you, dude. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna rewatch all of them and get to them. We got to figure out what they're on, and we can definitely get to it. And the week after that, I don't know what movie's coming out. I know I have one written down somewhere, and then we can do our top 10 actors that week if you want.
There you go.
And go jump on that.
Whoa! You guys can't hear about this. Get
out of here, bro. What y'all
Get outta
what you still
here.
doing here? But listen, if you are here still, follow if you're
are.
new, subscribe. Why not? Like, comment down below what you think about the episode, what you want to see.
so much.
And we love y'all, man. We do. We
We
talk
love
about
ya.
you. I
Thanks for
wanna
listening.
kiss you all over.
I wanna kiss
Over and
you all
over again.
My booty, Garrett.
What?
My booty. My booty, Garrett.
All right, we'll see y'all, man. You guys be safe. We'll see you episode 9 next week, baby. Let's get it.
Catch you on the flippity flop.
Love y'all.